It's a bit after 4 o'clock in the morning, Saturday. It slowly is getting brighter outside, and I'm laying in bed with open eyes, with the eyes wide open. Fight or flight hormone is cranked up. My body wants me to go look for food, okay? So yeah, no chance to sleep here really. I went to bed at 1 o'clock. That's when I finished editing the video from the last day, from Friday, from yesterday. So I thought I might as well take a measurement. So it's now 4 o'clock on Saturday. We're down at 61.6 kilograms at 7.9% body fat. So we're in the 7s of body fat again. Things are getting pretty crazy in the 7s of body fat, I tell you this much, for me at least. Now, don't take this number for granted, okay? We're not at 7.9% body fat exactly, okay? This is just a value, the trend, okay? We're gonna see the trend, but we're actually gonna debunk the body fat numbers of this scale during the course of this fast, actually. Now, what you're looking at is the piss that I collected. That's all that I pissed since Friday 17 o'clock, okay? And actually more, because this was before. This is the piss that I collected at 17 o'clock Friday, so from before that, okay? So until 17 o'clock Friday, this much. Then we take a look at Friday 20 o'clock, we get this much, okay? That's the piss of 3 hours between 17 o'clock and 20 o'clock. Now, then we can take a look at Friday 22 o'clock. So this is the piss of 2 hours. And then we're gonna take a look at Saturday 4 o'clock. So this is the piss of 6 hours. Do you notice something? The volume of the piss pretty much correlates exactly with the distance between the time points in measurement, okay? And this is for a reason. What we are looking at here is metabolic water, and I'm gonna explain this during this day, I think, in the near future. So what I did not do so far is take a little bit of a ketone test from the Saturday 4 o'clock probe. I'm gonna tell you right away that we're gonna show ketones like crazy. So let's dip it in here real quickly. Let's get rid of any excess. Get it out. I'm gonna try to get this here in focus for you. So as you can see, we're getting dark here pretty quickly, okay? We got a little color table here. So we're somewhere, it's not as dark as we would have imagined it. I mean, actually we have to wait 15 seconds, okay? I'm always measuring instantly, but on the package it says we have to wait 15 seconds. Let's wait a little bit longer. So yeah, I mean, it could get darker obviously, but we're definitely at the high end of the spectrum here. There's a shitload of ketones in this urine, okay? So we're in ketosis, that's the point. That's all we need to know at this point. So one more thing about these probes that I would like to point out is sediment, okay? So as you can see, we had a pile of sediment in the 17 o'clock urine of Friday. Now this is already settled, and we had even more sediment in the Friday 20 o'clock, as you can see, okay? So that's actually pretty interesting, because it's actually so much that it doesn't even settle down, okay? And from there on, we're getting clean again. So this is really pure metabolic water here. This is liquid gold right there, okay? Now, this stuff always happens in the same pattern. As soon as you're hitting ketosis on a dry fast, at least that's the case with me, your kidneys are gonna kick something, okay? You're having some kind of sediment in your urine. And from there on, it's gonna clean up again, okay? So there's a one-time thing that it's getting rid of something, And then it's basically going uphill when it comes to kidney cleanse, so to say, alright? So yeah, that's pretty much the stand of 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm gonna try to get a little bit more sleep at least. And I'm gonna make my first shot of this new episode on Saturday. Oh man, things are getting intense here, I'll tell you this much. Good morning! This is day 3 of the 8B mission. Getting pretty shredded over here. I'm gonna do a little bit of a shirt off shot for you so you can get an idea of what my body is looking like at the moment. I'm getting lean as freak here. I'm pretty flat though. I don't have any muscle glycogen left in my body. At least that's what my ketone strips are saying, because we're in full ketosis. Yeah, but apart from that, I'm feeling kind of okay. So I can put a shirt on here so that we're not all the time in douchebag mode here. Now, I just finished my weigh-in. It's now 9 o'clock in the morning and something strange happened. In the meantime, I hopefully already showed you my weigh-in at 4 o'clock in the morning, where it was literally impossible to keep sleeping, okay? So I came in at 4 in the morning in 61.6 kilograms and 7.9% body fat according to the scale, okay? Now that's getting pretty low on body fat here. Now, 5 hours later at 9 o'clock, something strange happened here. Look at that, we're coming in at 61.4 kilograms and 8% body fat, 8.0% body fat. What happened here? Now, first of all, I want to mention that the difference between 61.4 and 61.6 before is 0.2 kilograms in 5 hours. That's extremely little, okay? So that goes to show already that my body is now running on spare flame. My body is trying to conserve every single little piece of molecule, of energy carrying molecule as possible, okay? Now, I actually pissed an unusual amount, yeah, now at 9 o'clock. So that looked a lot, so I thought, man, this almost looks like 200 grams of piss, you know? So maybe the 200 grams that I lost is pretty much exactly this piss that I pissed out. So I weighed it, and I hopefully can show you this here in some kind of pre-roll shot. I weighed it on my kitchen scale and it comes out at 160 grams of piss here. So 160 grams of these 0.2 kilograms that we lost over 5 hours is actually piss. Assuming that this scale is somewhat accurate, which is of course not the truth, okay? But let's assume we lost exactly 0.2 kilograms of weight. Maybe we lost 1.8 kilograms, maybe we lost 2.2, and the scale rounded it to some degree, okay? Now, where are the residual 40 grams of weight? Of course, you're losing also weight by simply breathing out, okay? You're breathing out CO2, as you know. And you're also losing moisture through your skin and stuff, you know? I haven't been to the bathroom or anything, so it can't be that. So yeah, something lost through the skin, something that I breathed out, moisture that I breathed out, CO2 that I breathed out. As you know, we're taking in O2 through the air, and we're gonna metabolize that stuff, and then we're gonna breathe out CO2 again. So as you can see, this is kind of a ratio. Now, for every 2 molecules of oxygen, for every 2 atoms of oxygen, I should say, that you breathe in, you're breathing out roughly, I'd say, 2 atoms of oxygen and 1 atom of carbon. So it's roughly like, I don't know, maybe 30 grams of carbon or something like that. I would have to know the absolute net chemical reaction that's taking place in the body. Maybe I'm gonna research that later on. But that's essentially what you breathed out, carbon, okay? And that's of course from your energy metabolism, because when you're burning down fats and carbohydrates, now in this stage we're not burning we're almost not burning any carbohydrates anymore, okay? We're not burning any glycogen. The liver is now empty of glycogen. The muscles are empty of glycogen. The only sugar that's now present in my body is actually coming from a process called gluconeogenesis, okay? Which the body turns on to some degree, because actually your brain needs sugar, okay? Your brain can, even if you're on full ketosis, your brain still consumes a percentage of its energy in the form of sugar, in the form of glucose. And you somehow need to produce that out of amino acids, actually. Now, in theory, fasting should be the most muscle-sparing form of weight loss, so to say, okay? Why? This has evolutionary backgrounds. It would be completely stupid for an organism to break down his muscle in a situation where he needs to look for food, where he essentially needs to hunt, okay? So the body is basically trying to consume as much fat as possible and as little amino acids as possible for gluconeogenesis. So that's what's happening now in my body. These differential 40 grams of weight are probably breathed out in the form of breathing moisture or breathing CO2 or skin moisture. Okay, so that's that. Additionally, I want to say, what did I want to say now? You see, my brain is already running really slow. There was one more thing. Yeah. That's the awesome thing about dry fasting. You're not eating anything and you're not drinking anything, so you can't mess up your measurements. You can't mess up your results. All your measurements count. That's why I'm collecting every single drop of piss that I get out of my body, because then I can see, oh man, how much is that weighing? How much weight did I lose? Okay, and I can also see how the piss reacts itself. Now, as you can see, the first two measurements that we took are still with sediment. Now we're clean all the time, and actually the previous two measurements from I think it was 4 o'clock in the morning and 22 o'clock of Friday, I actually put them into the fridge to test if the coldness can actually manage to flock out some sediment out of this piss. But no, it didn't occur. The piss stayed clear, okay? So this is really something that happens, the sediment thing, when you're entering ketosis, at least for me, for my dry fasts. It could also have something to do with working out. So I need to make a controlled trial here, getting into a fast without working out, actually, just doing all rest days, and then seeing if I still piss some sediment. So maybe we've got here some creatinine or something like that. You know, this is a waste product of high intensity muscle work, basically, because you're using up your creatine in your muscle, and creatinine gets free and gets transported into your bloodstream, and your kidneys actually can manage to excrete that stuff. So maybe we've got that here a little bit in the sediment. Would be interesting to find that out with another fasting trial. But anyway, that's the thoughts that go into this kind of process. Okay, let's pull in our little schedule here so that I can explain to you what we're gonna do today, basically. So first of all, what do you think I had for breakfast today? Nothing, man. We fasted. Not one thing is going into my trap. Now at 4 o'clock we had 61.6 kilograms at 7.9% body fat. At 9 o'clock, 5 hours later, 61.4 kilograms at 8% body fat. Strange thing. Now I know already, because I don't do this for the first time, that my scale mistakes water for body fat. So this essentially explains here how this body fat percentage could have risen, okay? Because I definitely lost body fat in these 5 hours. That's 100% for sure, okay? It could also be, theoretically, that I turned on so much gluconeogenesis that I reduced my muscle mass so much that in comparison to that, my body fat rise to 8% again, okay? But that didn't happen. I already know that this is just a mistake of the scale, basically mistaking water for body fat. So we are here now, okay, after the first weigh-ins. Now we're gonna make a rest day today. What I'm essentially gonna do is I'm going to distract myself from the fact that I'm hungry as frick, okay? So I'm gonna do some guitar playing. I also want to do a little bit of a talk why I think dry fasting is an awesome tool for self-development. So I'm gonna do a little bit of writing down some notes so that I know what I have to say later on, because my brain is not gonna work 100% today. Actually, I want to get this done quite soon, okay? Getting the brainy stuff done first, because now I just slept a little bit and I'm still functioning to some degree. Later on it's gonna be harder and harder. And then later, doing some guitar playing, basically keep tracking the weight, and keep tracking the pace as well. And at 50 hours in with it, which is at 20 o'clock, okay, at 8 p.m., we're gonna rehydrate and we're gonna refeed, and then we're also gonna prove that the scale is actually giving a wrong value when it comes to body fat percentage. Now, that's on the menu for today, guys. I hope you're excited for that. Yeah, I'm gonna make some notes and then I'm gonna tune in again. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to day 3 of the fasting experiment and of the 8B mission, basically. I just completed a almost 40-minute talk about metabolic water and the scientific details, so to say, of dry fasting. And since this would actually blow this video up so much, I decided to upload it as a separate additional episode or a separate additional video for those who are really interested in the subject, you know, and really want to get a little bit more insight on why I'm actually picking the 50-hour dry fast over OMAD, you know, over 1 meal a day and stuff like that. How metabolic water works biochemically, how it basically can reduce your weight, and why it's also important for climbing performance and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm gonna upload this as a separate episode after this one. I hope that's somehow working with my upload speed. It's gonna be interesting. But anyway, now it's 2 o'clock, it's 14 o'clock actually, 2 p.m. And on 12 o'clock I did my last measurement, which was 61.1 kilograms at 7.8% body fat. So we're getting pretty low here. I also measured the weight of my urine again, as I did before always, because I actually needed that for my calculations that I did here with metabolic water. So just for those who are interested, I basically calculated with the help of my urine how much fats I actually burn in this ketosis, given some assumptions that are not 100% true, but anyway, it's an interesting way of explaining things and calculating things. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I'll make a link somewhere up there to the video if it's already up. Yeah, because this episode is actually gonna be up before that. So anyway, now the brainy stuff of this day is done, which makes me really, really happy, because I'm in full ketosis and thinking into deep shit is actually pretty hard at the moment. So what I'm gonna do now is basically I'm gonna pull on some strings on my guitar, and then I'm gonna simply keep on with the distraction that I need so much now, because I'm actually already hungry as fuck. Now, the thing is, I'm not even that hungry. Gotta be honest with you, I'm feeling actually kind of great. The worst I felt in the morning, when I woke up and I couldn't really sleep, you know, I wasn't really awake, I wasn't really asleep, and this kind of, you're just laying in bed, you know, with open eyes, your stomach is doing weird things, you know, getting into the second digestion, as I call it, because your body realizes, holy crap, we're running out of water, we're running out of calories, we gotta squeeze the last little bit out of our intestines, so to say. So yeah, it's doing a lot of crazy stuff down there, but yeah, he is gonna know what he's doing, okay? I have trust in him, I have faith in him. Now, I'm gonna tune in later for some more measurements and also for the rehydration and the refeed. Alright, so we have new strings on this baby. I'm not quite convinced. The deep ones sound a little bit metallic. I'm not sure if they're better than the old ones actually. so things are getting really crazy over here. It's now 17 o'clock actually. We are 47 hours in, okay? 47 hours into this dry fast, and I just took another measurement. I'm down at 60.6 kilograms and 7.4% body fat. Now, I also took a piss, of course, again, as always, and it's amazing what heaps of water are still coming out of my body, although I'm drinking nothing, man. I'm eating nothing, I drink nothing. I really hope I'm not breaking down some, I don't know, some crazy amounts of muscle mass here. I mean, the body fat percentage number is dropping and dropping and dropping, so I guess it's still the body fat that's getting burned here like crazy with ketosis to create this metabolic water so that my body can actually survive on the water, you know, to get some water available for the body, basically, for the bodily functions. But yeah, the urine it's getting clearer and clearer actually. And it's getting more and more. I mean, now I did a big break again between the last measurement, which was at 12 o'clock, so that's 5 hours. But yeah, heap loads of piss still coming out now. Yeah, as I said, 47 hours in, I just distracted myself. I restringed my guitar, cleaned it a little bit, and I actually went out for a short walk into the park to get some sunshine. But that was actually really exhausting, you know. It's when you're in the dry fasted state like that, the smallest thing can be quite, I don't know, exhausting to you. So I stayed out just for short and came back in. My lord, we made it. Incredible. This is without a doubt the craziest diet experiment that I ever done. Oh, but before we get too euphoric, we need to get in the very, very last measurement. I just made it, and I stepped on a scale. First of course, I took a piss in my last jar, into my last jar of this kind, so that went out pretty well, actually. Was very little amount, and it correlates very well with well-being. That's what I found out. The more you piss, the better you feel, okay, during a fast. And this only makes sense because the more you piss, the more energy you're actually burning, and the more energy you have accessible for your body, okay? So now I pissed very little again for 3 hours, and these 3 hours, man, it was kind of lethargic, tired, and I don't know, not really motivated to do anything. I laid in bed and watched a little bit of YouTube, and took a little bit of a nap, and just waited until the time goes over, okay? So we had 7.3% body fat, 60.4 kilograms at 7.3% body fat. Now, both numbers are crazy low. I've never seen them on a scale before in my life, at least as far as I can think of, as far as I can remember. So yeah, I wanna say one more thing here. When it comes to emulators of this whole thing, don't start with a 50-hour dry fast right away, okay? Work your way up. Start with a water fast, then try a salt water fast, then try maybe a 30-hour dry fast, or 24, you know, one day. A 30-hour, then work your way up to the 40, and then try a 50. You can train this stuff, and once you get the confidence that you can do the lower amounts, okay, then you get more confident and then you can try the higher amounts. Now there's people who dry fasted a week, okay, and they were not much fatter than I was, okay. I mean, they were fatter in the beginning, but not a lot. So fattening up in front of before you're starting such an experiment is definitely not a disadvantage. That's how much I can tell you. So let's pull in our wonderful schedule one more time. We are here. Okay, we're not here anymore. We are here. 20 o'clock at Saturday, 50 hours in, dry fasted. We're at 60.4 kilograms, 7.3% body fat. Crazy. What's next on the menu? rehydrate. We're gonna remember these 7.3% body fat. Now, if I guzzle down a liter of water, what should happen with the body fat percentage? Will it rise or will it drop? It should drop, of course, because my water content increases even further, and the body fat percentage should get even lower. Okay, so if I guzzle down a liter of water, this should be somewhere in the 7.1s or 7.2. Let me show you something here. Guess what that is? It's not piss, okay? I'm not going down that road, at least so far. This is roughly half a liter of good quality Austrian mineral water for Slower. I mean, actually, I don't know if it's good quality or not. It's just important that it's a mineral water, so they get at least some minerals in to replenish what you've pissed out during the fast, okay? And then we've got in there the juice of 1.5 lemons. Now the purpose of that is that it's gonna alkalize my kidneys, because my kidneys are now, they are dried out, okay? They are like a sponge, like a dried out sponge, and they're very acidic, and we're gonna open them up again nice and slowly. So I'm gonna drink this here nice and slowly, wait 1 hour, and then we're gonna keep refeeding. Then we're actually gonna start the refeed with a little bit of a fruit mousse. I'm gonna show you this real quickly here. Now, one more thing I want to talk about when it comes to fasting. This is another reason why fasting is such an awesome tool for self-development. When you're 50 hours dry fasted, do you think that you still care about your little tiny bitch-ass first world problems? No, of course not anymore. No Facebook anymore, no Instagram, no little relationship trouble whatsoever, okay? Your only thought is going towards water, okay? Water, the simple things, water and food, that's what you need to live. These are real values. That's how fasting redirects, it re-evaluates your valuing compass, okay, in your brain. So if you want to find back to common sense, I can only recommend you to dry fast a bit, get into dry fasting from time to time and do that. So, so much for the mental health aspect of fasting. I'm gonna simply smash that in now, and it's gonna be awesome. Cheers. Man, oh, it's a little bit sour. 1.5 lemons is not little. Oh, it's so good. Oh, dry mouth is gone instantly. My voice is coming back actually. Look at that. Oh, that's so good. So I'm gonna keep finishing that. And then I'm gonna hop on the scale, make another quick shot, and debunk the body fat percentage on the scale. See you in a sec. Done. So the water is down. Let's see what we pull now for values. 60.9. So from 60.4 to 60.9, that was pretty much exactly half a liter. And we're up again, 7.6% body fat compared to 7.3% body fat before. So instead of dropping the value, what the water should have done, it has risen the value. And this is why these body fat percentages on these impedance scales are a fail. But actually they are as well a fail on the DEXA scans, okay? There's people out there who already have debunked DEXA scans in the same way. Okay, let's measure that again. Now this is immediately after finishing the drink. What would be interesting would be to wait half an hour and wait until the water gets dissolved in my body and see if the scale is able to pick it up in that way, another way, you know. See if it's getting more correct here when it's dissolved in my body. So I'm gonna go back in half an hour, hop on the scale again, and then we're gonna see if the scale gets better. So now, a couple of minutes later, like about 15 to 20 minutes later, you know, I'm super dry. The water should have dissolved by now into my body. It should go really quickly when you're that dry. Let's see if the scale is now able to pick it up. Oh, we already lost 0.1 kilograms again. We're at 60.8. 7.7. What was before? 7.6. So we gained another percent of body fat here again. Gained 0.1%. I mean, so as you can see, this demonstrates pretty clearly that even, I mean, if the water that I drank is concentrated in my gut alone, then the scale is actually, at least to some degree, able to prevent bigger false values. But when the water dissolves into my body, the values become even more false. We should be actually below 7.3% if the 7.3% would have been true in the first place, which of course they weren't. It's time to enter the next phase of coming off this fast. It was roughly an hour ago that I had my half a liter of lemon water basically. So we can here tick off the box of rehydration here. Now what that did is it hopefully re-lubricated all my digestive system and stuff like that, moistured my body, so to say, basically also sponging up my kidneys again. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go in with something easily digestible, something with a high water content, and that's gonna be this fruit mousse here, consisting of pear and banana. Now what that's gonna do is I'm gonna consume it nicely and slowly, and it has sugar in it, so it's gonna rise my blood sugar slowly, and it's gonna eventually, it might kick me out of ketosis. We're gonna know the next time when I take a piss, whenever that's gonna be, then I'm gonna collect it again and I'm gonna dip a keto stick in, and we're gonna see if I'm still in ketosis. Now usually you are going out of ketosis, but you still have a shitload of ketones in your system, okay, even if your body decided to stop producing them. So you don't really know exactly when your body signals that it goes out of ketosis, because you've got still this backlash of residual ketones in your system, and they first need to get used up or pissed out. So, but we're gonna track it anyway and see if we can see something. So yeah, let's go in with that stuff. Can't wait. Oh, it's gonna be so sweet. It's another thing about fasting. Coming off a fast, everything is gonna taste so much more intense. Everything is gonna smell so much more intense, okay? So this really teaches you a new level of appreciation for food actually. So yeah, let's take a spoon here. So sweet. Nice. Salivating like crazy. It's like a real shock to the system, this sweetness. Boom. So we are continuing here with the refeeding routine, with the refeeding process. As you can see, we've got here polenta with vegetables cooked. I should hold it in the screen maybe. With tomato sauce, with 1 cucumber. Now one thing that I want to add here is that I put a little bit of salt in this polenta, okay, just to replenish my sodium stores, because I pissed out quite a lot of sodium probably during this dry fast. Now I don't want to give him a lot, because my body tends now to stash water like crazy, okay? It believes that we are in a desert now or something like that, so it's gonna stash water like crazy. So a little bit of sodium to replenish the stores, but not crazy much. So you gotta be a little bit careful here. Now I'm gonna down this now. I think I'm gonna manage to do this until 10 o'clock. And then the refeeding is basically done at 22 o'clock. Yeah, 22 o'clock or 10 p.m. we can say. So salivating like crazy. Let's see how this tastes. Just on point with the salt. Nice. Extremely sensitive to salt as well now. Good evening, my friends. This experiment is finally over, man. I can tell you what an epic refeed that was. One of the best refeeds I ever had. Anyway, it's 22:30, it's 10:30 p.m. and I just pissed in a little bit of a jar and measured my ketones. We're still pissing ketones like crazy. Of course, my body makes the switch now. Over this night the switch is going to occur. Tomorrow morning, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna show any ketones on the strips anymore. We are now at 62.1 kilograms again, so I bumped my weight right up again, and the body fat is at 8.2, I guess. So here's the schedule. We are here now. We also completed the rehydration and the refeed, and this is the awesome thing now. I'm super satiated and super laid back and calm at 62.1 kilograms. Now normally when I'm in a fat state, remember where we started, I started fat as 64.8 kilograms, okay? That's almost 3 kilograms more than what I have fat today. And I feel the same. I feel satiated, I feel amazing basically. So now this is the effect of the dry fast. We're gonna see how long that takes. Now let me recapitulate here a little bit what we actually achieved. We started at 64.8 kilograms and finished at 60.4 kilograms. Now this is a weight loss of 4.4 kilograms in 50 hours, okay? So we literally shredded ourselves down here with maximum speed actually, okay? Now again, if you're a beginner in this stuff, don't start with a 50-hour dry fast. You know, do a water fast, do a 20-hour dry fast, do a 30-hour, do a 40-hour, and increase your confidence with this stuff if you want to do this. Now, many people think that I'm actually doing this because I just want to send this 8B on Sunday, you know, and now one person made a good comment on my first episode of from Thursday, you know, of Mission 8B, where he said, I think it's better to do OMAD, you know, when you're preparing for such a sand day, and, you know, refeeding also after Friday, getting a fasted training in and then refeeding on Friday and refeeding on Saturday. So basically do the 1 meal a day approach. Now, I have to agree here with you. Probably if I would have eaten on Friday evening as well, I would have gotten a slightly better recovery in than if I would have fasted as I did it basically. Now the thing is, why I do the dry fast anyway is just because of the challenge of the dry fast. I wanted to push my boundaries here. I wanted to get a new record of prolonged dry fasting in, and now 50 hours is my record. I know that's possible now. It was great. It was a great experience to do that. Tomorrow I'm gonna make a little bit of an analysis. I'm gonna draw a graph how we lost the weight and with that stuff, you know. Today I already calculated quite a lot of stuff as well, which is going to be in this bonus video in case you're interested. But now it's over. It's over. And guess what we're gonna do tomorrow? Tomorrow I'm gonna climb my first 8B boulder. It's gonna be amazing. Unless it's not super wet or anything else it comes in the way, you never know, you know, but I have a good feeling. I have a good feeling. If I can repeat the strength that I got in these 2 sessions, and I'm quite considerably lighter than in these 2 sessions, there should be nothing in the way actually. Skin is good as well, the weather looks good as well, so yeah, I'm already pretty psyched to see how it's going tomorrow.